Hello everyone and welcome to February's update for Callroute. My name is Mark Vale and I am the Chief Product Officer here at Callroute and SIP Synergy, and I'm going to show you what we've been up to in the month of January. So we've been quite busy with our number management features, and you'll notice that this week you'll see a new number management layout. We have the tile view, which is what you've been used to seeing, but we also have the list view as well now. So if you have multiple ranges, it's a lot easier to find the numbers that you want to find and the ranges that you need. We've also increased the pagination size so that 25 ranges will show on each page rather than the previous 10. There are some differences in this layout. You'll notice that the buttons on the right hand side of the page has been cleared down and now hide between the drop down actions buttons, so you have more an easier layout and more intuitive. You'll notice on here that we have a couple of new additions in the add location and number settings, which I'm going to dive into now. So the biggest change has been the add location or number locations, and you'll notice that on the left hand side here we have a new tab called locations. So what are these locations? So you might want to set up or subdivide your ranges into your office locations to make it easier to find numbers, for instance. So where the area names of your phone numbers don't really match your office locations unless intuitive to your support admins, you can now create your own custom locations and call them whatever you want by clicking on add location and giving the location a name. Has to be unique, and you can give it an optional description to describe the numbers that are going to be in that location. Then you can come into a particular range and now you can assign numbers in these ranges to those locations. So you can do that in a number of ways. So if you want to select just a couple of numbers or an individual number, you can highlight the select button and click on the number that you want to assign to a location. You can either click on the bulk update link or you can hit the edit location link inside that number. If you want to select all numbers in the paginated view, then you can toggle the select all features, toggle feature on, and then bulk update, and then choose the location you want to assign those numbers to and hit save. That will assign the location you created to all the numbers in this paginated view. You will have to go through multiple pages if you want to add more numbers in that particular range to that location. And you can see here that the location has been put underneath the numbers so that it's easier for you to find and understand where these numbers are located. Then you can go back into locations and you can see here that we have the numbers that are assigned to that location, and the features here work as normal as they have done before, where you can assign a number to a Teams user or SIP service or what have you. You can remove numbers from range by clicking on the delete icon here and confirming the delete. This will just remove that number from this particular location. It won't remove the number from Callroute. And it won't change any of the assignments or any of the tag allocations to that number either. It just simply removes it from this container. You'll notice another counter here called reserved. So we brought in the ability for you to reserve numbers, which you can do in two ways. You've got this icon here, which is a padlock, which you can do a quick reserve on, and this just quickly puts a label against that number to say that it's reserved for a particular future use. This can be useful if you have a multi-user admin team where you're assigning numbers and you want to quickly reserve this number from your colleagues while you go ahead and configure a user account ready for a number assignment. You can reserve this particular number for the user and come back to it later and assign it to the user once the account's created. You can unassign a reservation quickly by clicking on the unassign reservation icon. And you can also go into the configuration. You'll notice a button here which is add assign to reserve, and here you can put in whatever label that you want, and this is a permanent reservation. It will show up here as it's assigned to this particular use case. So if you have a multi service range that some numbers are pointing to Teams and some numbers are pointing to contact center or another platform that isn't managed by Callroute, you can come in here and label those numbers that are pointing to that platform so that they don't accidentally get assigned to a Teams user. Now, the other feature that we've been up to this month is bringing in what we're calling number quarantining, which is an addition to the reservation feature. So first of all, what is number quarantining? So number quarantining is when you have a user who has a number, they may have left your organization or moved roles, and you've unassigned them their phone number as a result of that. There's going to be a period of time where maybe that account goes into a deletion state or disable state, and that period of time, if a user manages to return to their role or return to your company, you can simply reactivate their account and they've got access to all their data, emails, etc. You want to also be able to give them their number back. And if in the old way of Callroute, there was no way of quarantining that number for a period of time, and if you had unassigned a number, that number could have been assigned to a new user in that period of disabled time, that period of time. And quarantining is a way to prevent you from or prevent that number from being assigned. So the way that you can enable this, you can go to number settings on the action menu, and you here have the custom quarantine duration. So you can set an amount of time that's appropriate for a number to sit in quarantine until it returns to an unassigned or an available assignable state. That can be months, days, hours, and minutes if you want to. So what happens when a number is quarantined? So if we simulate a quarantining by unassigning a reservation label, you'll notice that this will icon will change to an alarm bell icon, and it will say this was assigned to the last person or the last reservation label that was assigned to that number. So if it was assigned to a user in Teams, it would say this was assigned to Mark Vale, and the email address or UPN would be markvale@callroute.com, for instance. And that will then stay in a quarantine state and will not be assignable automatically through auto provisioning or through Teams user assignment until that quarantine period is ended, at which time the number will return to an unassigned and available state. You can override this at any time you want manually. So if a person does come back early or their replacement has been hired and you need to assign them their number, you can come back in here and override the assignment and choose the user that you want to assign to this number at any time. Or you can just simply remove the reservation immediately so that the number becomes instantly available. The number settings and quarantine time, they're applied to all numbers in all ranges. So there is no ability to set custom quarantine periods per location or per tag or per range. The other item that we've been working on this month is the ability to rename the range titles. So the range titles are automatically generated based on the area code, and we look up an external library to give us the name of that area. And where we use calling plans and operator connect numbers, this area name is given to us by Microsoft. You might not agree with this name, or you might want to make it a bit more granular or a bit more descriptive. We now have the edit name and description icon here that allows you to change the name of the range to whatever you want to change it to make it a little bit more descriptive and understandable for your team. So that's the bulk of the changes for this month. Next month, to give you a preview of what we're working on for February, is Microsoft Single Sign-On. So this is a feature that we've been hoping to put into the platform for quite some time. So the idea will be that you will be able to log into the Callroute platform as an admin using your Microsoft credentials in your organization. That's it for the updates for this month. I hope you find it useful, and I'll see you again next month.